Prison is supposed to be a place for reform, a place to correct mistakes, to heal broken lives. But for some, it's a cage filled with fire, a crucible that melts away identity, mercy, and youth. In a facility built on order but drowning in chaos, three young men are about to learn that survival isn't just a choice, it's a war. This is Dog Pound. Butch, Davis, and Angel. Three teenagers from different walks of life, united by one brutal destination, Enola Vale Juvenile Detention Center. It's not their first mistake, but it might be the one that changes them forever. For Butch, it was assaulting an officer. For Davis, it was dealing drugs. For Angel, it was auto theft. All of them young, all of them angry, and all of them unprepared for what awaits inside those cold, cement walls. From the moment they enter, Enola Vale greets them not with hope, but with control. Head counts, strip searches, institutional grace. The guards pretend to offer structure. In reality, they're barely keeping order. And behind every locked door, there are rules not in the handbook, rules written by fear, dominance, and survival. Butch, tough and silent, immediately catches the eye of the inmates who run the place. Banks and his crew test him, push him. And when Butch finally explodes, beating Banks in a savage fight that lands both in solitary, the message is clear. Butch isn't someone to break. But it comes at a cost. Weeks in the hole, mental strain, and a mark that follows him across the facility. Now, everyone knows he's dangerous, including the guards. Davis is different. Soft-spoken, kind-hearted, he tries to keep his head down. But kindness in Enola Vale is weakness. And weakness is prey. The older inmates target him, humiliate him, abuse him. His only refuge is his friendship with Angel and Butch. But even that has limits. Because in here, pain finds everyone. Angel, street-smart and hot-headed, doesn't back down. He navigates the system with swagger, but not even swagger can shield you from everything. After a confrontation with a guard escalates, Angel is restrained, locked up, and punished. His spirit, once defiant, begins to crack. The guards call it discipline. The inmates call it survival. But no one calls it justice. The staff? They're underpaid, overwhelmed, and over it. One or two try to care like Goodyear, the head guard. But caring has consequences. And when push comes to shove, loyalty lies with control, not compassion. When Goodyear takes Davis under his wing, it seems like a rare sliver of humanity. But it's short-lived. Then it happens. The moment that breaks the illusion. Davis, bullied, cornered, and without protection, takes his own life. In a place that claims to rehabilitate, it couldn't even keep him alive. His death sends shockwaves through the facility. Angel is furious. Butch is devastated. And the staff, instead of asking why, scramble to contain the fallout. There's no accountability, no transparency. Davis becomes another name added to a forgotten list, another tragedy labeled as an unfortunate incident. But for those still locked inside, everything changes. The silence becomes heavier. The glance is sharper. Fear becomes anger. Grief becomes pressure. Angel demands answers. He pushes back. And when he goes too far, the guards punish him with brutality. A beating. A message. A warning. Butch watches from the sidelines, his fist clenched, his rage simmering. He knows the truth. In Enola Vale, there is no justice. Only silence. Butch begins to spiral. The tension inside the facility boils. The guards tighten their grip, mistaking fear for discipline. The inmates simmer with fury. Fights break out. Blood spills. And when Butch is thrown into isolation again, this time for defending a weaker inmate, something inside him snaps. He returns to the block not as an inmate, but as a storm. With nothing left to lose, he begins rallying the others. Not with speeches, with silence, with glances, with presence. And one day, it explodes. The riot isn't planned. It's instinct. A primal release of pain, rage, and defiance. The guards are overwhelmed. Windows shatter. Furniture is hurled. Doors are kicked down. Sirens wail, but no one listens. In that moment, for the first time in months, the inmates feel power. Feel seen. Feel alive. But hope is a dangerous illusion in Enola Vale. The riot is crushed. Reinforcements arrive. Tear gas fills the air. The inmates are beaten, shackled, and returned to their cages. Butch, bloodied and breathing hard, stares through a steel door with no fear left in his eyes. There's no happy ending. No redemption arc. Just scars. Butch doesn't get out. He's processed into a deeper system, swallowed by the same machine that destroyed Davis, silenced Angel, and branded every kid in those walls as a number. Dog Pound is not a story of redemption. It's a mirror held up to a system that fails the very souls it claims to save. It's a howl from inside the cage. A reminder that when we lock away youth without healing, we don't just lose them, we lose ourselves. In Enola Vale, they weren't just inmates. They were boys. Boys with futures stolen, names forgotten, and pain ignored. And in the silence that follows their stories, one truth remains: some prisons aren't made of bars. They're made of scars. And as Butch sits in solitary, staring at a concrete wall, one last thought echoes louder than the screams, louder than the silence. They made me into this. And now, they can never undo it.